Hello, my darlings. How is everyone doing? I am so glad you guys could all join in today's live stream. I'm so glad you guys could all be here. Look, we need to have a talk about this ginger dimwit and how he deserves to get a swift boot right in his arse, right there, which is why I had to open up with this picture. Harry needs someone to just not only throw him into a dog bowl, but they need to put a boot up his butt and maybe not Meghan's foot, because who knows, maybe that turns him on. But this selfish, self-centered idiot is back at it again. And a part of me, you know what, is going to be honest, and I'm going to say that this article that's been released by Radar Online it sounds like something Meghan would say, because the word deadbeat dad or deadbeat father is not really something that UK people or the British people use in their vocabulary. It is not, it's more of an Americanized term. It's a North American term. And I've always heard it on like Jerry Springer or Maury. I've never heard, I've never heard about anything of that sort from people in the UK. Mark M says, do you know Harry let someone in his back door before? I'm sure he has done that many times, Mark, my dear. That's why he knows how to assume the position so well. Look at this guy. He just goes, that he's claiming that is a squat. I don't know anyone who squats by spreading their butt cheeks, okay? Now, this just gave it all away. That photo proved to me that Harry loves to spread them wide, and I don't know. Maybe we know that they love to deflect, right? So he's got to be the prince of pegging for sure. Christine Parker is saying, they're saying, okay, I see that there's like some story. Christine, it's got nothing to do with you, but there's a story going around about Harry being hospitalized by an OD or something like that. I'm sure that those individuals who are now reporting this also reported something of this along those lines before, and we never really heard about it in the media. So unless if I get some kind of media report saying that Harry's been hospitalized or has some kind of medical issue, I would rather not touch it until there is an official report about it. It looks like a misinformation trap. It seems like the same people seem to get into the same misinformation trap. I don't know. People want clicks. They want views. They want people to come and watch their videos. It's near the end of the month cutoff time for YouTube payment. So, you know, they got to make that dollars. And until I hear something official, I am not going to touch that, Christine. I apologize. But I do appreciate you being here and spending your time here for sure. But that's just icky for me. I'm just saying. H just needs money. Maybe H is missing for getting pegged. But let's talk about this, because Radar Online, and H is an idiot. We all know H isn't the smartest person. We all know H isn't the brightest bulb in the shed. We know that he is someone who is not only selfish, but very entitled. He's very disloyal. He's manipulative. Oh, hello, monster. He will lie to get his way. He will cheat people to get his way. He thinks that just because he is a stupid prince, that everyone should listen to him. But this article doesn't look good when Harry is releasing articles claiming that he wants to make amends with his family. You've got this exclusive from Radar Online, which claims that Prince Harry is in bad dad therapy over fear of becoming deadbeat father and divorcee like King Charles. This is absolutely ridiculous. If you want to call anyone a deadbeat father, Harry, you might want to hold a mirror to your own schnoz and look at yourself with those beady little eyes that you got in that big old noggin of yours. If anyone is a deadbeat, we see that Harry Yikes, monster. You're just getting into it today, huh? Oh, he's making himself comfortable. So I apologize for the scratching in the background, my friends. He's like a cat. He likes to scratch his bed and then he spins around in it multiple times before he gets comfy. It's hilarious. But Harry has basically someone in Harry's camp. I will say it's Meghan because a part of me honestly believes she has been feeding the media since she got her claws into him. The calls are coming from inside the house, and Harry is too stupid to know that this is going on. Hello, Freya. Thanks for being here. Monster, everyone's saying hello to you, Monster. He's too busy scratches. But Harry is stupid if he thinks that, yeah, I agree. He's a deadbeat drug-addled father, Harry. And Charles was none of those things. Charles was with his children. Harry, you never see them. Harry goes to the beach and goes on bike rides, but you never see him with his alleged hostage children. Nope, never. But here on RadarOnline, this horrible article, which I feel is something that came out of Meghan Markle's mouth, because listen to how it's written, okay? Petrified Prince Harry is seeing a therapist to avoid becoming a deadbeat dad like Prince Charles, RadarOnline can reveal. The royal still resents Charles's treatment of his mom, Princess Diana, who confessed she was left feeling closed off by her former husband's cruelty seconds after she delivered Harry. Really? Like, you're going to be mad over the fact that what your father allegedly said, that, oh, he's a ginger and he's a boy, and now that's affected you? And because of that, this man who has paid for your entire lifestyle continued to pay for your security despite you lying and saying you were cut off from the family. Personally, myself, I don't believe you're cut off yet, and that in a way, Charles is still funding Harry in some ways or another via security or something like that, paying for David Langdown to constantly be around them. But yes, he's always using Diana, but that's what Harry and Meghan have now. That's it. Dragging Diana's memory and desecrating it into everything. What 40-year-old man do you see constantly, oh, my mummy didn't like what my daddy said when I was just fresh out of the vaginal canal, and that has made me so upset. That has affected me. Like, get out of here, you loser. But the audacity to call this man King Charles, who walked Meghan down the aisle, despite she wanted to do the whole thing herself. And he was the one that paid for all of her clothes because she couldn't understand that you couldn't take in freebies. You can't merch the royal family, but that's what she's wanted. She doesn't understand no, and nobody is tough enough to stand up to her and be like, no, bitch, you can't do any of this, and just strip them all of anything. I'm just making a point here for a second. If King Charles can handle going and being in the sun for 5 days where he looked uncomfortable, or like it was the first 3 days for Ascot, and he looked uncomfortable in the sun, he looked like he was struggling at sometimes. If he can go through that, if he can put himself by going on a 12,000-mile round trip, by going to Canada just to open Parliament for like 24 hours and return, yet he's too sick to deal with Harry, but he's fine enough to do all of these other things. It makes no sense whatsoever. At all. At all. I don't believe, I don't get it. Why, the whole thing is that, oh, Charles is leaving this for William. Well, he shouldn't. And now you get reports like, oh, Charles is a deadbeat dad. Well, here you go, Charles. This is why your son and his wife, who was a talentless trollop, who was known for opening up suitcases and giving blowjobs on 90210, is calling you a deadbeat, right? After everything you have given them. and they continue to harass the royal family. I mean, go make amends with Thomas Markle Sr. Go talk to him. Go and like introduce your family to them. It is crazy here. Hashtag pandas, thank you for the super sticker, darling. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. This is absolutely ridiculous. So, continuing on, it says, she said the first words out of her then husband's mouth when Harry was born were a hint the ginger boy may have been the result of Diana's affair with red-headed cavalry officer James Hewitt. Diana said Charles sneered when he laid eyes on Harry. Oh God, it's a boy, and he's even got red hair. She added, something inside me closed off. So blah, blah, blah. This is Diana's alleged trauma that they're going to use, right? And Harry is now claiming that he is being hurt by that. And because of that, he has gone into therapy. That now, thanks to Meghan's influence and his involvement in mental health charities, Harry is big into wellness, right? Who knows what kind of cockamamie therapists and wackadoodles Meghan has Harry listening to. Because remember when Harry and Meghan first started dating, Harry was on prescribed medications for his mood. Do you remember that Meghan forced Harry to stop taking those prescriptions cold turkey? And anyone who knows, if anyone has taken those kinds of mood stabilizers, then guess what? You're not supposed to stop those cold turkey. You're supposed to, slowly come off of them. But no, Meghan forced him to come off of his medication. And then on top of that, she's forced him into some BS cockamamie, Western grassroots psychology treatments by a bunch of yokels who probably got their therapy degree from Dr. Google online. Okay. Like it is, yeah, cold turkey, absolutely cold turkey. So continuing on with this, it goes that a source said about Harry, Meghan Markle, that he is being supported by Meghan in his decision to see a counselor as he's racked with fear he will fall into the classic trap of repeating mistakes from the past. It's well known how scarred he is by tales of Charles's cruelty to his beloved mother, and he sees therapy as a way of becoming the best dad possible to his son Archie and little girl. His therapy is a classic blame the parent stuff. It's not that he's a bad dad. He just wants to do everything that he cannot. He just wants to do everything he can not to, oh God, not to, so what Charles did. God, whoever wrote that sentence is absolutely terrible. They added, Harry is also secretly horrified over Charles handling Diana's death. Blah, blah, blah. There's more about it, how they talk about Diana's Bashir interview. William said that he never wants that to be brought up again, but Harry has done a good job of constantly bringing it up. Where am I supposed to begin? This sorry ass cuckold little man child who at 40 years old is still expecting his father to take care of him and his trashy, raggedy trollop of a wife, the cable TV mattress actress Slore that he married, who now for some odd reason thinks that she is Mother Teresa, like she is God's gift to the entire universe, when in reality, she is just as dumb as he is. That's a fact. They are both dumb. They are both extra stupid. These two are not two smart individuals, because had they been smart, they've been out of the royal family since the end of 2019. And what have they achieved? Absolutely nothing. Meghan is still talking about, I'm still trying to use my voice. My voice has been silenced. I'm just trying to share my voice. Bitch, you've been using your voice since like 2018. You haven't shut up since then. What are you trying to say? You're just repeating the same nonsense. If you go and look at interviews the interviews that Meghan has done while she was on Suits, she's repeating the same stupid talking points as she did back then to now. Nothing has changed about her at all. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Meghan is not someone who has grown and elevated. She hasn't matured as a person. She's still talking about, oh, 15-year-olds want to save up their money and buy my jam. Is that how you see yourself, Meghan, as a 15-year-old trying to save up and buy jam? I'm failing to understand this here. But how dare, look, I may be a tough critic of King Charles because I feel like he's being super soft with Harry and Meghan and allowing them to, make the monarchy look bad, make the royal family look bad, and just like make people lose trust and make people just not care so much about the monarchy. They're doing that because they are still being seen as members of the royal family. They're still going around using their HRH titles. Meghan is still calling restaurants to get reservations at while using an HRH title. She used to do this crap when she was in Toronto too. She used to go to restaurants or have like a publicist or call in like her PR person. Oh, Meghan Markle wants to come and have food. Yeah, so what? Oh, it's Meghan Markle from Suits, Meghan Markle. Girl, you were the girl who was getting banged in the filing cabinets and like taking your clothes off in Suits. You weren't the star. As much as you want to try and claim you were not. And had Harry never married this trollop, we wouldn't even be here right now. We wouldn't know who she is. Thank you, Christine, for mentioning that. Thank you so much. I see that, and I already addressed it earlier in the live, and if you missed it, please go back and listen to that, but I am not addressing that. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Thank you very much. No. No, thank you. But yeah, for Harry to come out and claim that Charles is a deadbeat dad, I mean, that is, to me, it's an Americanized term. It's a North American term. I've never heard people from the UK or Britain or anyone in Europe really use the term deadbeat dad before. Okay. Like, this is pathetic. You think that by hiding your children, alleged hostages, children who have no business being within the line of succession, Harry thinks that he's dangling them over his dad. Like, what you're doing while your father is suffering from cancer is the same nonsense that they did with the Queen when they knew she was suffering. They just kept stressing her out even more. And let's talk about this because the definition of a deadbeat father, when you look it up online, is basically a man who is not fulfilling his parental responsibilities, particularly when it comes to financial support and or consistent presence in a child's life. This usually involves neglecting court-ordered child support obligations or avoiding involvement in the child's upbringing, often leaving the custodial parent to shoulder the burden alone. So basically, Harry is claiming that this is what Charles is. Absolutely disgusting, isn't it? Harry is more than a ding-dong. Harry is an absolute dumbass. That is what he is. He is a complete, like, I thought calling him a moron was bad, but moron is being nice to Harry. Harry is worse than a moron. He's a backstabbing, treacherous idiot who has no idea the kind of damage that he is doing to these alleged phantom hostage children that he allegedly has. This is the guy who was constantly traveling, who's missed archofficial's last 4 birthdays. I mean, let's all talk about that. And yet he has the nerve to claim that King Charles is a deadbeat. Okay, you're 40 years old. You got married. You have a wife and supposedly you have children. You're supposed to be taking care of them. You're supposed to be the husband of the family. So what are you doing? Wouldn't you be the deadbeat then? I mean, this is Harry and Netflix. Look at this. Is this what you're doing all day, Harry? Is this why you're too busy that you can't even like take your own kids to the beach? We've seen photos of Harry with a dog at the beach, but you never see him with his kids. And then the sad, super sad Father's Day video that they put out, you see it's just all alone. No, those kids have no one around them. It's just them and two junkies in Doria Ragland. Nobody at all. Now that is pathetic. That is a deadbeat father. Harry is just basically projecting, in my opinion. Harry is the deadbeat. Or maybe Meghan is the one calling Harry a deadbeat, but they changed it into Charles. But it's Harry who needs help. It's Harry who's been warned to not do this, and yet he did. Harry's been coddled his entire life, and it's gotten to a point where now he needs to realize that your actions have consequences. You wanted to leave the palace because you believed you were going to have a billionaire rock star lifestyle because your stupid wife told you that she was a superstar actress in Hollywood, and you believed it, dummy. So stupid. He's so dumb. Yeah, he looks awful. You know what's crazy is that when Harry was in the royal family, we have never seen photos like that of him. I mean, there was that one time when he was stumbling out of the club and he looked like he was on an H bender, but how many photos of Harry have we seen of him just looking straight out of it online since he's gotten with Meghan? That's craziness, isn't it? That's like, let me try and find some. Hold on. Prince Harry stoned. Let's see. Look here. I have some photos here. Let me pull it up for you guys here. He does look awful. I mean, remember this? This was when he was younger, right? And this was back on March 18th. I've said Harry has always had a problem with drugs, HC, weed, you name it, he's done it. I mean, look at this guy. This guy's a mess. And you're supposed to be a prince, right? Disgusting. Disgusting. I mean, look at this guy. This is him at Wellchild. What has been this lump on Harry? Have you guys noticed that ever since, I don't know, since he's gotten with Meghan, since they have started their courtship together, he's always had these weird two lumps on his forehead. Is that like the target for her to throw the vase at his head? Or when she tosses a pot at his head, that's where it always hits? Because it seems like these two lumps are always in the same two spots on his forehead. And I'm thinking, okay, well, it can't be Botox or injection marks. Like, this is crazy. Are you growing horns out of your head, Harry? Is that what it is? No, not that. Did Meghan throw a book at your head? Maybe you can understand or learn something. Dave the Vane's cousin, you're messy. You're messy. But look at this. Harry just looks a mess. I mean, who posts photos of their spouse looking like this? Look at this. How many photos of Harry have we seen like this when he was a part of the royal family? And this guy is still the patron for Wellchild. He's still the face of Invictus. Disgusting. This is the face of a junkie. That's what it is. Maybe he's going to develop double Dave the Veins. Who knows? Thank you, mods, for everything that you're doing and your reminders and everything. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys today. It is sad, but you know what? Harry has allowed himself to be manipulated in this manner. He is allowing himself to just, be used. I mean, look at this guy. Look at those freaking pupils. They're as big as like saucers. It's crazy. But he's a fox, right? Yes, he's a fox. And Meghan loves him. That man loves me. But yet she never ever says that she loves him. You notice that? But yeah, I was just absolutely disgusted by the fact when I saw this article by Radar and Harry claiming that Charles is a deadbeat father. I was like, excuse me. Like, I know I have my issues with Charles, but I'll call it how I see it, okay? I mean, look at this guy. Look at this face. This is not right. Look at this guy. And this is who they gave the Pat Tillman Award to also, right? Aspie, thank you from me and my Doxy Oscar. Thanks, Molly. Aw, thanks. Monster says thank you too, but now he's fallen asleep. Jump scare for sure, right? Thank you, my darling. Thank you. But look at how many photos and images of Harry we have now of him just being high as hell. This is crazy. This is what I will never understand, because what is Harry feeding to this doll with an empty bowl? There's no food in here. And how, like, what is this? I'm trying to understand what is going on. I don't know. Anyways, just a mess. Just a couple junkies who are going after the royal family, who are going after Charles because he's sick. And just like how Charles is getting treatment for his cancer, rip the Band-Aid off and just end it with Harry. Just cut him off. He complains that, oh, my children are in danger, but I don't know. Meghan's trying to force them to always use HRH titles. Like they are supposed to call himself. What happened to Harry to just being just Harry while he was in the UK? Now he's constantly calling himself Prince. Well, if you're so worried, make like how the Japanese princess did when she married a commoner and she had to give up everything, all her titles, and now she lives a quiet life in New York, riding buses. She just had her first baby recently. Like, nobody bothers them. You could do the same. But the thing is that Harry and Meghan want to use the royal family. They want the connections. They want the clout by also trashing them at every moment. Meghan always throws these stupid jabs. Like, grow up. If it wasn't for the royal family, you wouldn't be sitting in front of people who deal with Kim Kardashian. You wouldn't be dealing with Netflix. You would have never had a podcast. Everything that you have now is because of the royal family. You got to remember that. You're not successful. You're not an entrepreneur. You're not a founder. You're not a businesswoman. You're a fraud, but you're none of the other things. And maybe you and Harry, in my opinion, are the deadbeats. Meghan is a deadbeat mother and Harry is a deadbeat dad, in my opinion. And that's all I got to say about this whole topic. Boycott Invictus Birmingham. Look, they've got quite the grift going on with Invictus, right? Every 2 years, they go to a different country, get like $40 to $60 million. They don't really they don't really tell us exactly how the money is being spent. Invictus Games actually quietly, very quietly released their report, their spending report, and they're trying to claim that they broke even, that the $69 million that they got from the Canadian government, from investors and donations, that they actually broke even. Yeah. And they gave you a really shitty graph that basically says for administration fees they spent 59.6 million, but it doesn't break it down, right? So I've been trying to get my hands on a more broken down record so that I can share with you guys where the money went, because this is ridiculous. Every 2 years they're going to another country with their hands out, making the taxpayers pay millions upon millions of dollars. They are trying to claim with Invictus Vancouver that they brought $80 million of revenue into the city. Where? Canadians, Vancouverites, I should really be asking those in Vancouver, did you guys see $80 million in revenue and positive revenue come into the city? I don't know about that one. It wasn't nothing like on the scale of the Olympics, and we're supposed to believe that they brought in that kind of money. No, not happening. So yeah, I'm trying to get my hands on a more broken down report to see what is going on. I am disgusted that Harry is going as far as calling or allowing Meghan's side to put out a report to call his father a deadbeat. Like, grow some balls, Harry, okay? Grow a pair. You are a prince. You're supposed to be the one in charge. You're supposed to be the one who can get your wife in order. You're supposed to be the head of the family, but instead, all you're doing is spreading your cheeks for the likes of Tyler Perry and others. Is this what you're good for, Harry? Spreading your butthole for others and that's it, and talking shit about your family? Because it seems like it. Anyways. Let me take some comments here and then I'm going to get the heck out of here because I got to go check on my little one. He's playing in his room. He is a spineless weasel for sure. One ball Harry. I don't think that Harry even has that one ball. Oh, hello, gypsy woman. Welcome. Invictus or endow us. I agree. I agree. I agree. Harry is 40 and he thinks his dad is a deadbeat for not giving him money. And the crazy thing is that Lizbeth, is that Harry and Meghan sat on Oprah lying, saying that, oh, I was just cut off, only to come out for news to come out like recently that Charles was still paying for their security for up to a year when they lived in California. And remember, I've always said that Charles is still paying for them. And a lot of people are like, no, Molly, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, I'm just going to dust my shoulders off here because I was right. Not only to toot my horn here, but yeah, these two always want a free handout. They want to go to other countries under the guise of Invictus and get a free handout. Harry, while he was in Vancouver, had closed door meetings with the Ministry of Defense individuals from Korea. Okay, now this was not televised, but news came out that he had these meetings behind closed doors. And now Invictus has been doing a thing like, oh, where do you think that the next games in 2029 should be held? So don't be surprised if Korea gets picked, because you know someone's hands got greased under the table. And honestly, how are they running the 2027 games in Birmingham when Birmingham is broke? No money. Nothing. But yeah, there's a lot of shadiness. Look, a lot of you guys are like, oh, I can't. The word spread seems to appeal to her. Well, Harry loves spreading it. She loves her spreads also. Disgusting. Oh, I'm gonna go throw up now. Anyways, my darlings, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm absolutely disgusted at Harry calling his father a deadbeat. Look, I may be tough on King Charles, but at what point are you just going to be like, okay, you know what? You're a grown man. Go take care of yourself and your family. Go deal with that on your own. I'm done. Just let me live out my final years just being peaceful and happy, because the more stress Harry and Meghan put on Charles, the faster he will get put into an early grave. I'm just saying, and maybe that's what they're trying to do, just the same that they did with the Queen. But what do I know? What do I know? I don't know. Anyways, bye, my darlings. I'm so glad you all could make it. Thank you, mods, for everything. And thank you all for having a good chuckle with me. I love coming on here and having a couple laughs with you guys. It is the best thing ever. And then, oh, Amina, thank you for the super sticker. That's very kind of you. But anyways, my darlings, thank you all for being here. I will catch you all in the next one. And Harry, make sure you spread that Todger cream real well to make it lubed up real nice for you. Toodaloo, my darlings. Bye.